Hello, my name is Patricia, and in this video I'm going to be sharing part 2 of my encounter with American mainstream culture, a mini comic series that I drew 2 years ago. Okay, I feel like what I drew in Act 6 might not represent the majority of Taiwanese people. So whenever we dine out, we usually try to order different things and share them. We almost never order the same thing, and we have this mentality of trying to taste a little bit of everything. So ordering food has always been a group decision. On the other hand, American families that I've seen tend to make independent decisions when ordering food. It's not uncommon for two people to order the same thing. Speaking about food cultures, I think there's a big difference between how Americans and Taiwanese eat at home. In traditional Taiwanese households, people would each have their own bowl of rice and share all the other dishes. Eating involves an active process of acquiring food from the center of the table. Whereas in American households, everyone would usually have their own portion in front of them before the meal starts. So what I've been talking about basically demonstrates an aspect of the good old collectivism versus individualism. In simple terms, collectivism values the group, whereas individualism values the self. So in Act 7, I was trying to depict how I had trouble understanding the empirical units used in America. And of course, after years of staying in the US, I've gained a basic intuition of Fahrenheit, pounds, feet, and so on. So in Act 8, I'm trying to portray how I had a different standards of crowdedness than Americans. So I feel like East Asians have a higher tolerance for crowded situations because the population density is higher and public transportation is more common. But I realized I'm talking about the pre-COVID world here. In Act 9, I drew about how we handle fruit differently. I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but many Americans in my high school would grab an apple out of the fruit basket and start biting into it. Whereas I think East Asian households really value washing and sometimes peeling and cutting the fruit. Growing up, I've always been told to be aware of consuming pesticides. In Act 10, I talked about the different attitudes towards wearing a face mask. Here I want to emphasize again that I drew this 2 years ago, and obviously the norm for wearing a face mask in America is very different now. I want to focus instead on more reasons why it's already very common for East Asians to wear a face mask even before the pandemic. First, many people will wear a face mask even for a common cold as a courtesy to others around them. Second, because cities don't have the best air quality, many people would wear masks to filter air. Third, some people actually wear face masks to protect themselves from the sun. This ties back to what I mentioned in the first video about how East Asians really value having a fair tone. It's also very common for people to use a sun umbrella during sunny days. And I know this would sound insane to many Americans. The last reason for people to wear a face mask is when they are too lazy to put on a full makeup. And there are actually some people who think that they look better with masks on. Before I end this video, I want to talk about how sometimes I feel like I'm in a cultural gray area as an international student. To Americans, I'm a foreigner, and to Taiwanese, I'm quite westernized. I used to feel like I don't really belong anywhere. But in recent years, I've come to really appreciate my unique experience. Thank you so much for watching this video, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section.